Yo!
Let's go. But, here we go now. Batman scoop on the mic. Mix in the mix on the wheels of steel. This is what I was fucking born to do. Let's go.
What's up? One sec. Hello! Oh, good to see you all. Jacob Leem. Thank you for 3 months. Bald and Brash. Thank you for 2 months. Yo, Atrioc. Big A. Wait. What'd you say? Hold on. The music's too loud. 1 second. You said Big A. I just won a pitch competition for an NBA team on how to engage international fans. It was for a class, but the team's actual PR and marketing team were the ones who judged our presentation. That's awesome. Congrats. Sorry, Brillo Pad 707. Thank you for the gifties. Congrats, dude. That's awesome. Amazing. I gotta ask. Thank you for the 20 gifties, Brillo Pad. Jesus Christ. Thank you. Congrats, sir. 1 second. Yeah, I'm good actually. That's amazing. I need to ask the guy we met in New Zealand. He was going to do a pitch thing in Auckland, and I want to see how he went. I'm gonna ask him about it after the stream. Bob's Not a Bomb, they have the 2 months. Storm Swampert, they have the tier 1. Lunar Honeymoon, they have the 8 months. OJ and Cyril, they have the 20 months. 20 months. 20 months, 20 gifted. Loafo AIDS. What is your name? Loaf of AIDS. What a terrible name. Thank you for the 1 month of Prime. What is your messages like? What do you talk like if your name is Loaf of AIDS? You said the chat Omegalol. Gene Wilder is the only Willy Wonka. And millennials Omegalol. It's like your 3 fucking messages. Okay, cool. I guess you nailed it. Bro, thank you for the gifties. Damn, dude. Somebody fucking hit the lotto. Eliza P, thank you for 27 months. Aubrey Yarts, thank you for the 7 months. Wally MD, thank you for the 14 months. I do read these. Eliza P, thank you for the tier 1. How's everybody doing? We got a massive What's Up Beijing today, and we also got fucking big shit, big dog news in the marketing world. Mario Bros movie trailer as an ad, Poggies. What does that mean? Decipher that for me. You do realize we already watched it on stream. Mario Brothers movie trailer as an ad. You know, movie trailers are ads. They're not, it wouldn't be a stretch. Oh, you got it as an ad right now. Like, well, that's weird because I don't run ads. Just like a pre-roll. I just finished your Papathon YouTube video. It was so good. I kept dying of laughter. Dude, shout outs to Eric. I'm sorry. Yeah, Eric. Sorry. I have Eric Senji and Eric the Pooh. I thought I miscredited. Shout out to Eric the Pooh, who did a fucking phenomenal job. Really good editing. All the way through. And it's an hour long, dude, and he fucking crushed it. Goes crazy. Goes dumb hard. Yeah, everyone's really liking it. I got some positive responses. Big A stop streaming so late. That is the goal. That is the dream. But we live in a reality. We live in a world where... Oh, Sonbeep, thank you for the 5 gifted. Appreciate it. Besides, you know what? Like, if you're going to be an EST frog, you have to just realize that you're an EST frog. You know what I'm saying? It's like, ugh. You're living on the East Coast. It's like, you just got to fix your entire life. You got to set up your life to where it's like, you go to bed at 4 a.m. I think that's a good way to live. Are you going to talk about Nintendo Smash Tour and Panda? I talked about it yesterday. I don't think there's any major thing to say other than that I think Panda's fucking Grima Wormtongue. I think Adam is Grima fucking Wormtongue. Alan, I'm sorry. And I think he has just been fucking whispering to Nintendo in their ear some fucking vile fucking wrong shit. And so we'll see. What I really like is I like Scar's idea of just fucking running the tournament, bro. And I hope they do. I hope they just run it. What I don't know, and what I probably should just ask Gimmer is if they've actually canceled the subscription. I mean, sorry, the subscription, the venue. If they have canceled their venue fee, then there's like no way to really get it back. I would assume, and they're kind of fucked. But if they have it, then they should run it. Kilroy, thank you for the 24 months. Oracle, thank you for the 13 months. This is the worst streaming subscription I've invested in. You've invested in it? You consider this an investment? You think buying an Atrioc sub is like buying Netflix stock? No, it's not. You know why? Because the Atrioc sub is better performing. Netflix stock tanking. Atrioc sub to the moon, baby. The gaming, thank you for the 18 months. Oracle, Zombie, Naruto, thank you for this. Your name is Naruto 789789. You have no self-respect. If that's your name that you choose to present yourself to the world, thank you for the 6 months. 6 months. Better performing because it goes directly into, yeah. All Atrioc subs go directly into Disney stock. My man Bob Iger. Hold the phone. Hold the phone, dude. Okay. Yeah, we're that's so sick. What I'm reading. Okay. Atrioc homeless arc. What is that? There's 2 things I want to say to that. Number 1, no. I have a home. But number 2 is that if you see somebody homeless, it's not, you shouldn't call it an arc. You know what I'm saying? It's not appropriate to be like, oh, you're in your homeless arc. That's not it feels you know, degenerate. Just buy a house, lol. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. Drops, think of the 24 months. I'm 2 years old and I'm not 2. What does that mean? Thanks for the content, Big A. Congrats on making legend. Thank you. I'm very glad that I got it. Got that fucking monkey off my back. The Purple Player, they have the 2 months. Stubbs, they have the 5 months. Pajaroro, thank you for the 2 months. Yo, Big A, just wanted to let you know I loved your performance as Otis from Back at the Barnyard. Don't even know what that's referencing. I assume it's that movie, The Barnyard, and Otis is the cow, if I'm guessing. But you really shouldn't be watching The Barnyard because it's not. It's a fucking dog shit fucking looking movie. But I did figure out your message, your coded message. It's Panda Gaming's very own Atrioc. I am not a representative of Panda Gaming, nor have I ever been. Nor do I support. Well, I support the streamers and the content creators and the players. I think Panda picked the right people to support. They just have a fucking toxic leader. I wonder what they'll do. I truly wonder what they've already taken. Dude, it's crazy. What's fucking crazy is to see Panda Allen still fucking tweeting, and he's just only tweeting about fucking the Mario movie trailer. The dude's like fucking Okay, I believe in Nintendo, and that trailer was great. They got me. And then he followed it up again yesterday. Peach being a baller was my favorite part. It's like, bro, the entire fucking internet is calling for your head. It was trending earlier. It was fucking Panda Gaming was trending. And this dude just like, dude, what I love is fucking Jack Black is Bowser. Bro, fucking shut it. He is sucking the Nintendo tweet. I mean, what he's sucking, I'll tell you that. 11 months of not seeing my prime. I'm not even going to read your name for that message. Thanks for the 11 months. Blank. Strubs, thank you for the 5 months. Ravioli Calzone, thank you for the 6 months. I'm currently cheating in all of my classes with no idea of what's going on with finals coming up. And then you posted the Gambit emoji. Yeah, all right. I don't know if that's necessarily a gambit, but it's a way of doing it. It's a way of being. I saw it in my offline chat when I was working on Wins and Fails. I saw in the offline chat some dude saying, yeah, like I was failing my classes, and then I started using GPT-3 to AI generate my essays, and I started getting double the grades. Like my grades doubled, and so now I can't get off of it. Now I can't. He's like, I want to stop using AI to cheat, but when I actually write it, I do so much worse. I was like, bro, this is some real fucking young Zoomer problem right now. Literally addicted to AI cheating. Saying cool. Thank you for the 5 months. Fear and episode was fire. Dude, their name sucks. It's impossible to read it in a sentence without being confused. I especially enjoyed the emotional terrorism everyone pointed towards you. Dude, seriously. Instigated by slime, really. What's crazy is that, that I think the context of knowing that I was on a 18-hour Hearthstone bender with no sleep in that episode is pretty funny. Like watching it again, knowing that context is funny. GPT got me 77% on my chemistry homework. I said all the wrong answers with complete confidence. Yeah, but I think it's more for writing than fucking chemistry homework, but that is fun. Hey, Big A, love the balloons content. Thanks, man. I hope that's not just a reference to the fact that we had a balloons video today, and you understand that I haven't done balloons content in 6 months. But I love that you said that. Thank you so much. Really welcome into the stream. Clearly a daily viewer. Unfindable, thank you for the 15 months. Blathers Kai, thank you for the 16. Necktie Enthusiast, thank you for the 11. Yeah. Let me 1 second. Let's play the song, and I want to get a snacky snack. 1 second. Yeah, babe, I'm overemployed. My second job is watching Marketing Monday. Yeah, put it on your resume, baby. Put it on your resume. Nuke-Rain, thank you for the prime. Fetch, thank you for the 4 months. Is that pickle juice? That's pretty epic. This. A LaCroix labeled lime. And your question was, is this, again, I didn't hide the logo. You think this is pickle juice? Pickled lime. No. The answer is it's not pickle juice. If that was your question, sincere question, let me answer for you right now. It's not pickle juice. It's actually just a lime flavored LaCroix. What is this? Bro, is this what I think it is? Okay, I'm gonna put this in wins and fails, bro. I'm not even gonna read it out loud. Thank you for that link, UBZ. I'm just gonna put it in wins and fails right now. We'll just add it to the list, dude. That's hilarious. Did you get your Apple Music Wrapped? Did Apple Music even have a Wrapped? I thought it was only a Spotify thing. This is what I saw. I saw this tweet that I thought was making fun of the fact that Apple Music doesn't have a Wrapped. I hate Apple Music so much. Hey, it's Mitch from Apple Music. I have your Apple Music Wrapped ready for the year. You listened to 13,517 minutes of Skrillex. Holy shit, lol. Not very professional of you to laugh at me, Mitch. I pay a lot for this service. Whatever you say, Skrillex boy. I thought this was like a fun parody of fucking Apple Music having no fucking Wrapped. I didn't know they had it. I thought that was their whole fucking L. Was that's why everyone on Apple Music was usually jealous of. Did they do it this year? Like they never did it before though, right? Because I legitimately remember last year people saying like, I love Apple Music, but I wish that's the only time I get jealous is when Spotify is Wrapped. Oh, they yoinked it. Okay, they yoinked it. I mean, good call. Everyone loved it. Legitimately, I think the only thing that was causing like diehard Apple people to switch was Wrapped sometimes around the holidays because they get jealous. Apple Music makes Eminem sound white. I cannot possibly decipher that. Bro, every 15th message in here is like completely, it's like a haiku of gibberish. What does that mean? What does that mean? Apple Music makes Eminem sound white. Explain that. What does that mean? I don't understand that. He is white. He is. He sounds white on all platforms because he's white. He's a white guy. Eminem sounds Hispanic on SoundCloud for real, for real. Yeah, no, you're right. You're actually right. I'm the idiot. Copper King, thank you for the 18 months. AJ Ritchie, thank you for the 6 months. 6 months of marketing Mondays. Well, that's not true. That's just not true, right? I missed quite a few. But we got some today. He's white. It's like reverse the scene from Elvis. He's saying he's white, but it's angry. Damaka, thank you for the 6 months. Shackled, thank you for the 6 months of Eminem being white. Big time. By the way, just to be clear, I am saying that Eminem is white. Just to be clear. Like, my stance on this is that Eminem is a white artist who sounds white on all platforms, not Apple Music. Brave take. So bold. Yeah, you know what they say. Caru's Cosmos, thank you for the 7 months. Seems strange to be so insistent about this point. Is it? Is it strange for me to be? I just feel like I'm being normal. I feel like I'm not forcing it down your throat. I'm just, oh, speaking of rap, just thought I'd shout this out for any hip hop heads in the chat. If you haven't heard Central C, I was already a fan of him, but I listened to him a lot more after New Zealand because the guy driving us around New Zealand was a big fan. He's awesome. He's great. So if you're interested in a new up-and-coming artist, he's like the best thing to come out of the UK in a minute, dude. Central C is really good. Check him out. He has an amazing freestyle about UK slang. I showed it to Aiden. Here, wait. You want to see it? This is fucking great. Hey, if your queen wants salmon, don't take her to Chick-fil-A. That's just my thought, Central C. But, you know, you have your own way of doing things in the UK. Have you seen Chainsaw Man? I have not. I have not seen it. I do want to. That's probably how the queen died. You think the queen of the UK, a 8-year-old woman died because she went on a date with young rapper Central C, and he bought her Chick-fil-A. You're saying yep before I finish. You're saying yep before I finish my sentence. You don't let me finish my sentence before you say yep, because you don't know yet what I'm going to say. You're spamming yep as if you know exactly how I'm going to finish it, but I haven't even. She went to Chick-fil-A with Central C, but wanted salmon. And that killed her. So that's what you all agree. Okay. Cool. No, I understood. Nikki Wong, thank you for the prime. Drew, thank you for 2 months. Loving the eyeshadow, Big A. Very brave. I don't have eyeshadow. I guess it would be brave. I don't, though. And then Stumpy Bud put a skull emoji and said, I wanted salmon. I guess you're, at that point, quoting the queen? What does that mean? When is the Hearthstone stream? Oh, yeah. This is a bait and switch. I'm going to do a fucking 8-hour Hearthstone stream instead. No, I actually legitimately uninstalled it on my phone and my PC. I legitimately uninstalled it. I legitimately fucking went in and I fucking Control-Delete, dude. I got it off. I got it out of the system. All I wanted to do was hit the rank, dude. All I want to do is hit Legend, which I did. It's about proving it to myself. That's it. It is not about any kind of wanting to play the game more, which I appreciate them sponsoring me. I do. I thank them. But I don't have the. It's not good for me to grind like that. You have to stop Smackington the Hearthstone and start Smackington the Benjamin. I could do neither. Damn, remember that? Yeah, exactly. Bro, Napoleon says it right. Dude, in like fucking 4 months, people are gonna be like, damn, I missed the Hearthstone streams. Like, RIP the great Hearthstone content. Remember that? Remember the Hearthstone era? It's like, shut the fuck up, bro. Shut the fuck up. When I'm doing it, everyone's fucking miserable, pissed off. But then in 4 months, you're gonna be like, dude, I loved Hearthstone. That Hearthstone era, that was the real shit. And it's like, dude, you're so fucking dumb. Same people that did with AoE 4. Dude, the amount AoE 4 was bad content, dude. All I did was grind. The camera was zoomed into my forehead. I didn't talk. And I just grinded Age of Empires 4 to fucking top of the ladder. And then everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that was great. We'll bring that back." Balloons, same thing, dude. Balloons is 90% me malding at Balloons. I'm actually mostly at Chatters. Oh, Chatters were the worst. Chatters during Balloons were the fucking biggest idiots of all time. Sekiro was fire. No, Sekiro's different. Sekiro was just a great game. Legitimately, Sekiro might be my favorite game of all time, which is crazy to say. But it just feels like one of the most perfect, complete, no flaws kind of games that I really, really loved. So it's kind of hard to say that was a bad experience. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time all the way through. Elden Ring? I think Elden Ring had its moments, but overall it was pretty bad content. Some rumors, Sekiro 2. Oh! Really? Sekiro 2 would be sick. I would love to go back to that combat. You know what, though? Yeah! By the way, this is a mini purple mattress that I got as part of a gift bag, and I just keep fucking messing with it all day. I'm not sponsored by Purple Mattress, and in fact, don't think you should buy one. I think most of these mattress companies are scams. Not scams, but like they massively overcharge. But this is a fidget toy. Yeah. Hollow Knight's gonna be Hollow Knight Silk Song. Oh, I'm just so excited. I'm so fucking excited for Hollow Knight Silk Song. I can't even fucking imagine. All right, it's almost 9 o'clock. We're gonna get into the wins and fails, and we're gonna get into a pretty big "What's Up Beijing." Actually, we should get "What's Up Beijing."
What's up, Beijing?
What's up? I used to work for Purple Mattress, and they're a total joke. Yeah, I believe you. I mean, I assume, unless they, yeah. my general sense on Purple Mattresses and all these mattress companies, they're a part of the 2021, boom cycle of cheap, easy money and they are pretty bad businesses, and they offer basically just highly marked up, drop shipped kind of mattresses. They're not like anything special. Including the one you sleep on. I sleep on 8 Sleep, which I want to see if I can get a sponsorship with them, but I think it's way different. It's way, way more expensive and probably even bigger markup, but it has something that I can't find anywhere else. I like my purple. It's way different than the mattress I tried. Well, if it's like this, it's definitely got a unique material. But listen, I don't know specifically about purple. All I know is about like Casper and purple and all of them. I just know the general economics of the business is bad, so I assume it's somewhat fraudulent. When are you going on Radio Melee? I don't think I would ever do that. I love watching it though. NZ4 shot, thank you for the 5 gifted. Get thank you for 6 months. Matthias Live, thank you for the 10 months. Month 2 of Atrioc reading my sub. You got it, brother. Zagwin, thank you for the 24 months. Mr. Stahl, thank you for the 7 months. Breadstick, thank you for the 7 months. Twitch does Simon, thank you for the 12. Why is stream so soft? What do you mean? Like, is my audio bad? No, it's crazy. Have we talked about Smash World for All? Yeah, I talked about it yesterday. Again, there's not too much to say other than fuck Panda Allen. And they should give out a statement pretty fucking soon. Audio's good? All right. I like to imagine you're a giant and flinging around an actual size purple mattress. Yeah, I am. You guys didn't know that? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm going to need you to reach into your mental stack, find an accurate residual self-image. That's your mental projection of your digital self. That's what you look like, okay? And I want you to analyze and pattern match what you see yourself into what you're seeing on the screen, okay? By that, I mean, tag yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marketing Monday on November 30th, 2022. We're back after my trip to New Zealand, and there's a lot to talk about. There's been a lot going on in the news. The major 2 pieces of business information that have been dominating everything are number 1, Sam Bankman-Fried and the FTX fraud, and number 2, Elon Musk's insane Three Stooges-esque hijinks over at Twitter. We're going to talk about all of that more in today's Wins and Fails, and then we have a very special What's Up Beijing, but I'll get to that at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start off with the wins and fails, starting with the win, and that is that all of this, all the $42 billion purchase, all of the mass firings, all of the layoffs, all of the drama, all of the blue check, all of that has been building towards Elon Musk's secret plan. So I'm going to give him the first win of the day because he has built up to his long-term plan of going on a date with Apple CEO Tim Cook. He did it. He's on a little fun garden date with Apple CEO Tim Cook. He did it. Big win. True love does exist. The Riz is insane, dude. Grimes in shambles. It's cute. Yes, of course, he did tweet earlier that Apple has mostly stopped advertising on Twitter. Do they hate free speech in America? What's going on here at Tim Cook? And started a basic war with Apple. Twitter needs Apple more than Apple needs Twitter. Yeah, this is the real one. Wait, he said fucking. He deleted this, by the way. He started talking about the 30% cut that Apple takes on all transactions, and said rather than pay 30%, I'm going to war. The classic Elon meme. And then he went on one little date with Tim Cook, and he deleted the tweet. So instead of his big plan to take down the Apple monopoly and destroy the 30% tax they do take on all apps, which would be a noble goal, it kind of seems like he just wanted Apple to spend more money on Twitter. which I don't even think they agreed to do, but they have agreed to not delist Twitter from the App Store. So I guess you got that. I guess Twitter will not be removed from the App Store, which is good. But I don't know that he necessarily won this war, except unless his whole goal was to have a date with Tim Cook, which he did do. That being said, the problems are a little broader than that. You see, Twitter has lost 50 of its top 100 advertisers since Elon Musk took over. That is a pretty big revenue impact for a company that was already losing money and makes 98% of its revenue through advertisers. So it's kind of an L. I'm going to say something right now that it's going to make some people mad. It's going to make some people mad. I agree with many of the decisions that Elon Musk has made. Oh, shocker. I think that Twitter needed layoffs. Holy moly. I do. I think that Twitter trying to go to a more subscription-based system instead of an advertising-based one is a good idea. What I disagree with is the way it was executed in all of these situations. I cannot think of a more classless way to fire all of your workforce than the way that he did. I cannot think of a way to do that. Well, he overfired, then he had to randomly hire some back. Then he offered some of them, then the ones that remained, he put out an ultimatum. Wait, let me see if we have this ultimatum. Yeah, this is it. Here's the ultimatum. After Elon Musk's ultimatum, Twitter employees start exiting. Yeah, he basically put out an ultimatum saying everyone to sign up for long hours at high intensity. They needed to like verbally sign an agreement that they would be super hardcore and stick with the group. Obviously, some people chose to stay. More importantly, is that the people that chose to stay, he then on Thanksgiving tweeted out a photo. Wait, I'm getting it right here. Yeah, here it is. On Thanksgiving, he tweeted out a photo of his bedside table. This is late at night, with an Overwatch gun, a replica of George Washington's flintlock pistol, 4 diet sugar-free Cokes, and then about 6 hours after this tweet, fired people. Like at 4 a.m., fired hundreds more people. So the man is doing this in like an insane, deranged, off the rails kind of ad hoc way. And what was crazy is that everybody who chose not to take his ultimatum, like here's the thing. So he went around and said, basically, if you don't take my ultimatum to be super fucking hardcore and commit to this company, I'll give you 3 months severance and you can just leave. Okay, fine. I mean, you're the CEO. You can demand that. The people that agreed, they said, fine, yes, Daddy Elon, we will do the hardcore work, were then fired on this day, weeks later, and given 2 weeks severance. So they chose his stupid fucking plan, and then they were given less fucking reward. That's an actual finesse, dude. And the reason is, largely, the people that agreed to his insane demands are people that are on what's called H-1B visas. And they are foreign workers who are working in America who are required to have a job in order to keep their status in the country. They'll be kicked out, basically, if they don't. And then if they lose their job at Twitter or they leave or fired, they only have 60 days to find a new qualifying H-1B job or they're deported. So many of them are being forced into these conditions because they just simply have to. They simply have nowhere else to go. And if he does fire them, he can offer them terrible demands. They don't really have a lot of legal recourse. So that's sort of what is going on. So I feel like the way he's handled the layoffs has been pretty classless and pretty cut too deep. Obviously Twitter had bloat. Twitter had a lot of fat. I've been saying this for the longest time because I visited Twitter when I was when I worked in NVIDIA and we were doing there for marketing. We went visited all the social media companies. And one thing I noticed about Twitter was they have insane numbers of floors of people and they don't seem to do anything. So I definitely agree that needed to be done. That being said, there's a very clear chance that he has overfired because, maybe there was too many support staff, whatever. But when the vast majority of the money of the company is coming from advertising, firing basically all of the sales team and all of the people that handled talking to brands is pretty bad. Because now all of the advertisers who don't even care about the Elon political stuff, they're just literally getting worse service. They can't get data. I mean, Twitter already had pretty shit targeting, pretty shit data. Like I've used all three for campaigns. I've used all the major platforms. And one thing you'll notice if you're ever in marketing or advertising and you work on social media campaigns is that as much as you may hate Mark Zuckerberg and think he's a weird robotic piece of shit, if you use Facebook/Instagram for marketing, you get really detailed data, really good targeting. You can spend your money very efficiently. You can get all the click tracking and everything. But if you do it on Twitter, you get like a photocop thumbs up, photocopied thumbs up. You get nothing, dude. You get nothing. You cannot tell if your advertising is working at all. And that was back when they had like people on your account. So there'd be somebody from Twitter that would meet up with you and talk to you. And now they don't even have those people. So people are just quitting because they don't know what the hell's going on. So, and again, if we were to draw this, because I'm only talking about this from a business POV right now. Just from a business POV. Let's say, here, let's get a line. This is a line, okay? This is profitability. So let's say this is negative. This is Twitter the year before Elon Musk picked them up. This is when they had all of their advertisers spending around, I don't know, $5 billion, around roughly. And they just spent a ton on employees and salary and staff and expansion, all right? So he cut that cost by what is estimated to be something like $300 million a year. So that's about what they were losing, okay? So if everything else had stayed the same and he cut all the employees to the bone, he would have gotten it to even. This is where Twitter would be right now, even profitability, basically zero, nothing, okay? But the problem is they lost all the advertisers. They lost half of the top 100. And they've added another $1 billion a year interest expense on the debt he took to buy the company. So now, no matter what he does, Twitter is in an insane hole. They're just losing an insane amount of money. I don't see a path forward. And then the plan that he had, which I didn't get to talk about because it's been a bit, with the blue check $8 plan at launch was a disastrous failure. Not only did it lead to a ton of impersonation and parody accounts and fraud and all that, but more importantly, it just didn't sell that many. Let's see if I have the exact number. One second. Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, he needed to sell something like he basically needs a third of all users on Twitter to be paying the $8. And from the early test, it was like 50,000 people maybe. You know what I'm saying? So it's just not, a third of all users on Twitter would be, 150 million. So it's not looking like this is going to be the big end all be all savior of the company. And so I'm not sure what their plan is going forward. Now, because he's cut costs so much in terms of cutting employees, and because Twitter had like $5 to $6 billion on their balance sheet in cash when he acquired it, the chance of them breaking down is very slim. Like the chance of them going immediately bankrupt is very slim. But if he doesn't turn it around within, let's say, like a year and a half, 2 years. This thing is just a permanent money loser that he's going to have to find some way of unloading. Now, another thing I agree with him on that I didn't mention is that people have been saying, oh no, the Twitter website is going to go to shit. Twitter's going to crash. People were posting, this is the end of Twitter, RIP Twitter. Twitter's going to go down. And Twitter's been just fine. Twitter is a company that essentially just serves text. GeoCities was doing that in 1998, dude. It's not that hard to serve 140 character images. Like, Twitter's reliability from their firing of basically everybody has gone from like 99.9% to 99%. So it's worse. And maybe some pages will take longer to refresh. Something will load a little weird. You'll have a broken link occasionally. Some service won't work. They had a thing where they broke the two-step verification system. They broke the system that sends you a code, so you couldn't log in if you had two-step verification. There's been some errors, don't get me wrong, but it's not actually imploding. The service is basically going to trundle along unless they make some major change, and then it goes to an error. So, it's working generally fine. The way it's going to fail is just basically that it has no near-term future to turn around the fact that it makes no money. It makes not only no money, but less money than it ever had. Like, it's making less money than ever before. Now, he keeps saying, I think I have, here's, I didn't want to get this little graph, but I think this kind of sums it up. If you want to know, skip all the words. This is the summation, because there's a lot of drama around the Elon Musk thing. But at the end of the day, this sort of sums it up. Everything he's been doing and all of the back and forth and all of the, let's talk about free speech or whatever, all kind of comes back to this. Like, if you try to say that you're going to go to war with Apple and that, does Apple hate free speech in America? It's very transparent. He wants money because this place is losing it. This is not a free speech argument because free speech implies that you can choose where you advertise. Obviously, free speech doesn't mean you're forced to give Elon Musk your money. That's not the definition of free speech that I understand. So, clearly this is all tracking back to the idea that this thing literally just doesn't make any money. And all of this would be no problem, really, for the world's richest man. Because, this wouldn't be a big deal if we weren't seeing drastic downturns in Tesla stock at the same time. Tesla is where the vast majority of his worth is, and it is being hammered by people who think that he is distracted, just insanely distracted with this Twitter stuff. There's many, many people who are just hardcore Tesla investors that just want to see him focus on Tesla. They believe in the Tesla mission. Again, Tesla makes real products that people like. At the end of the day, what you think of Elon Musk or what you think of Tesla, they've made cars that people like. And that means it's a business that makes some sort of sense. At the end of the day, if you can sell a product at a profit, that makes some sort of sense. And him diving all of his time, attention, and focus and capital into Twitter, a money-losing pit of a business full of despair and political headwinds and anger and controversy, is just dumb. It's just been overall dumb. So this is causing a lot of problems, long and short of it. And again, he's also politicizing Teslas. It's becoming more of a tied to his image than anyone else's. So there's people that are like, they disagree with Elon politically, so now they don't want to buy a Tesla. And those people were big on green energy, so now he's losing a core audience. So it's just bad. It just doesn't make sense from a business point. So yeah, overall, I understand that Twitter has not collapsed and that he has made needed layoff cuts, and that it would be tempting to think like, yeah, you know what? He's right. But when I look at the business case, it just feels like it's all been a complete clusterfuck, and it's not turning out well. That is what it's looking like to me. So I'll give him a win because he got to meet with Tim Cook. Now, let's give a fail. An honest-to-God fail on the other big story of the past few weeks. And again, I'm going to do a full video on this, so I'm going to only go brief. But an honest-to-God fail, on Sam Bankman-Fried, bro. Now I'm going on CoffeeZilla here because he's been covering this story amazingly. But basically, Sam Bankman-Fried's been doing quite a few interviews. Sam Bankman-Fried, the disgraced founder of FTX, who perpetuated a massive fraud on all the customer deposits, has now been doing interviews. He is actually just walking free currently. For whatever reason, because he's jurisdictioned in the Bahamas, he is able to do interviews and walk around free despite committing a massive Ponzi scheme and massive fraud. It's actually crazy. It makes me furious. And he's going on these interviews and just lying, bro. Just literally spouting nonstop lies over and over and over. Now, I was trying to get what's this like? Wait. What is wait, I actually had a better example. Let me see. What is this? Yeah. So if you guys don't know, during the story, so again, they based FTX in the Bahamas. And right after they went insolvent, basically, and they closed all withdrawals and said you couldn't take your money out, they reopened them briefly for people in the Bahamas. Now, 90% of this, I am sure, was insiders looting their money out. But he said, and there may be some truth to this as well, he actually said he opened withdrawals without authorization because he didn't want to be surrounded in a country with a lot of angry people in it. That might actually be true because legitimately, I would be afraid of everyone in the Bahamas who was an FTX investor coming to kill you, bro. He already has crypto investors flying to his house in the Bahamas and camping outside of it angrily. Right now, he's locked up in there with his parents. The level of corruption is crazy. Now, he's also said, I really need this clip. Here it is. Wait. Fully solvent. Here it is. This is the big lie. So this is Sam Bankman-Fried.
Just to make a distinction here, you look at the U.S. platform, you look at the international platform. The U.S. platform.
Now, if you guys don't know, FTX had two branches. It had FTX International and FTX US, which was a smaller US-only branch that claimed to follow US laws around accounting regulation, et cetera, et cetera. He says,
platform, it's a US-regulated platform with American users. To my knowledge, that's fully solvent.
To my knowledge, that's fully solvent.
That's fully funded. And, I believe that withdrawals could be opened up today. And
and he believes that if he was in charge still, he could open up withdrawals today and everyone can get their money back. The truth is, and this has been proven, is that all of the bank accounts from all of the branches, including his sister company, Alameda Research, all went into the same fucking bank account. There was literally no separation at all. It all just poured straight into Alameda's pockets and they used it on insane crypto gambling. There is literally no separation of FTX US and FTX International at all. And all of the money is gone, except for the money that he stole for himself. Now, it has also been proven that many of the investment dollars and customer money dollars, 300 million plus, were taken out by Sam Bankman-Fried personally. He personally siphoned them off and says right now that he only has $100,000 total in his bank account, which is another lie. Where'd the $300 million go, Sam? He took all the money. Then, not only took the money, but he also used investor funds in FTX to buy something like $700 million of Robinhood stock, which he then spun off to a separate fourth company that only he owns. And when they went into bankruptcy, he made sure that that fourth company that has all of the Robinhood stock, which is actually worth something, did not go into bankruptcy and cannot be claimed by the people who are trying to get their money back. And so he's literally committing open fraud and then lying about it nonstop, just consistently trying to paint the picture that he made an oopsie. he keeps going on with this narrative that he's like a guy who cared too much and is just like, I made a mistake. I should have followed the money a little better, but all I was trying to do was a good thing. He's literally a planned con artist fraudster who has done many, many bad things. Now, I'm only giving you one opinion. Another opinion is that of Kevin O'Leary, aka Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, who says, I lost millions as an investor in FTX, and I got sandblasted as a paid spokesperson for the firm. But after listening to that interview, I'm in the Bill Ackman camp about the kid. Call me crazy, but I think SBF is telling the truth. Bro, shut the fuck up. Holy shit. The dick riding's crazy. Bro, he literally lost you millions of dollars. Oh, you're such an idiot. It's so cringe. The guy's an absolute con artist and fraud through and through, beginning like top to bottom. Everything he said has been proven, disproven, and shown to be a lie. And the fact that he had, legitimately zero corporate governance, all of the money was going to basically his girlfriend's run trading firm to be punted on insane schemes. They also, a lot of stories have been coming out over just, how they use the money. They had insane things like free private flights for all fucking FTX employees all over the Bahamas. They owed $55,000 to Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville Beach Resort. Bro, they can't even pay their fucking bar tab. They're not going to pay back customers. Okay? They've just been fucking spending money willy-nilly on an infinite Bahamas party and buying crypto rug pulls. And then finally, yeah, wait. Yeah, here it is. And finally, the thing he lied most of all, though, the thing that really broke my heart for my good friend Stans, who's a lifelong vegan, is that he lied about being vegan. And in fact, accidentally ate 3,000 shrimp. I could take you lying about $8 billion of customer funds that you misappropriated. But if you accidentally eat 3,000 shrimp, that's not an accident, bro. That's not an honest mistake. Yeah, he keeps painting himself. Look at this. Look, I screwed up. Look, man, like as if we should just be like, oh, you know what? He's all right. There are things I would do anything to do over again. I was shocked by what happened this month. I didn't knowingly commingle funds. Bro, it literally from day one, customer deposits were going straight into Alameda's bank account. They didn't even have separate bank accounts for the different companies. That's how insane it is. So the dude just lied through and through and through and through, and he should be in jail. By any fucking measure, this guy should be in jail. It's complete fraud. But what's been interesting is that, because he has donated so much money, he donated insane amounts to the Democratic Party, SBF, and then his one of his right-hand men, I'm forgetting his name, from FTX, donated a ton of money to the Republican Party. So FTX was donating both sides, millions and millions of dollars to different politicians, basically to make sure that they could get, their goal, as it turns out, was to get enough political influence to be recognized by the government as the only official crypto exchange. That was their goal. They wanted to cut Binance out of the market. They wanted to cut all their competitors out of the market, almost like Panda Allen in Nintendo. That was their big plan. Donate a bunch of money, get involved, get in front of the SEC, and make sure that they can cut their competitors out of the market and be the only. And then when they had that monopoly, they could find a way to mainly spin their Ponzi scheme into a real business. It didn't happen. They didn't get there. And now, but because of that influence, I don't know, they're getting surprisingly softball press coverage from mainstream outlets. The main thing was, there was this crazy article from the New York Times What was the first Sam Bankman-Fried New York Times article? Sam? Like right after it happened. I mean, it was either New York Times or Wall Street Journal. Here, maybe this is it. Yeah. So this is the big first article. And they said it, they paint him like they talk about how he's not getting very much sleep, and they don't mention fraud once, they don't mention anything. And they say, had I bit more concentrated on what I was doing, I'd be more thorough. They're like they paint his, they don't call out his fucking fraud at all. And then specifically, they ask him like what he's been doing, and he says, "Oh, I've been stressed a little bit, but I've been getting sleep, and I've been playing." Yeah, I've been playing the video game Storybook Brawl, though less than he usually does. It helps me unwind a bit and clears my mind. I thought that was so weird. I was like, wait, why are they including that he's playing the video game Storybook Brawl? Why do they call it out by name? How weird is that? And so I looked it up. So I Googled Storybook Brawl, and I find out that Storybook Brawl is a crypto-based auto brawler that was acquired by crypto exchange firm FTX. It's literally a hashtag ad in the middle of his collapsing fraud interview. They allowed him to plug his own fucking crypto game. They should be like calling for his head, dude. And they are like, yeah, he's just a sweet kid. He's not getting sleep, but at least he's enjoying hashtag ad Storybook Brawl. It's blowing my mind. It's blowing my mind, bro. So, the guy's ability to fucking hustle to the end is crazy. Then, I mean, if you guys don't know, it's been a while, but right after he was like getting completely owned, everyone was like calling him out. Where's the? Does anyone have a link to the SBF what tweets from? Yeah, from SBF FTX what? Yeah, here it is. Okay. So he started tweeting this cryptically, okay? He started tweeting what? HAPPENED. Not legal advice. I'll get to what happened. He did this to this fucking thing. He'd space his out every like 5 minutes. You put another letter. It turns out that the Twitter bots that track when you delete old tweets do so by checking your total tweet count and seeing if it's gone down by -1 or more for more than a minute. So what he was doing is he was literally like posting a letter, then deleting an old tweet. At the same time. And okay, so again, I'm not sure if that is exactly how the mechanic works, but while this was happening, it is proven that he deleted a bunch of tweets. He 100% did, because I saw all the tweets that he deleted. I saw the list of the tweets that he deleted. And all of them were things around celebrity partnerships. He deleted basically every tweet that referenced Tom Brady or any of his celebrity friends that were implicit. All of those were deleted. He deleted the tweet where he said, FTX is actually solvent and all customer deposits are safe. He deleted all that stuff in this moment. Now, I'm not sure if it tracked. I'm sure everyone saw the deleted tweets, so I guess it didn't. This scheme didn't work, but he did delete this. So these tweets were deleted during this time period, and we're gonna see what happens, man. I'm frustrated, but I'm hopeful that eventually this guy will see some sort of criminal justice, because what he has done is equivalent to Bernie Madoff. It's equivalent to any of the great Ponzi schemes of history. He basically just embezzled $9 billion of customer funds and have used it for either personal gain or for incredibly risky crypto gambling bets, both of which mean the customer loses their money, and both of which are fraud. So I want to follow it up here real quick. I want to do a quick side note before I get back to the actual wins and fails. I want to do a quick side note. I am of the opinion that the same thing is going to happen to Binance. I am of the opinion that basically all crypto exchanges are built on some sort of fraud. They cannot maintain their level of solvency. And I believe if you have any money in an exchange, you should get it out. Now, I want to talk about Coinbase. I also want to talk about Coinbase because Coinbase is a different story, but I also want you to take your money out of Coinbase. The reason is because even though Coinbase has one-to-one all of the deposits, they kept them. I personally believe, after looking more into it, that even though Coinbase does not have any evidence of fraud, there's no fraud, they have your money, it's such a bad business. Coinbase stock price, it's such a bad business that I don't think I think there's a good chance they go bankrupt and just pay out the deposits. I think that's the best case scenario. I think it's likely because when I've looked at the numbers, Coinbase as a business only makes money because they don't do fraud. Like most crypto companies that do fraud, because they don't do fraud, they only make money if people are trading a lot of crypto. And nobody's doing that. They only make money by taking fees if you trade a lot of crypto. If you like take your Bitcoin and switch it to Ethereum, then switch it to Dogecoin, then switch it to, like if you're buying and selling a lot of different crypto and different altcoins, then they can take little fees a bunch of times and make a bunch of money. But the average person is no longer doing that. So they have no way to make money. All they're doing is holding everyone's money for free. Because everyone's just sitting there in Bitcoin, in Coinbase. So there's not fraud there, but there's no money. The business makes no sense. So yeah, I mean, it's a worse bank. It's just a worse bank. So yeah, again, they have all the customer deposits. They have to file in the U.S. They have a respected auditor. Everything I can see, they understand they have not committed fraud. But that doesn't mean, like, I don't think Carvana committed fraud, but I wouldn't invest in Carvana. You know what I'm saying? Because giant vending machines selling cars is a bad business. So I think no matter what, this is a bad business. Like it just doesn't make sense as an idea. Whether or not they're committing fraud doesn't make MoviePass. Well, that was kind of fraud. So yeah, Carvana's down 96% by the dip. So anyway, I want to get that off my chest. I want to say that I think, you know, while I've made the statement in the past that I don't believe Coinbase is fraudulent, which I still stand by, I do think that it's a bad business. And so I would, in general, I am wary of all places to store your crypto because they all seem to be based on either fraudulent or bad business models. Now, what they should have done, is this. This. What they should have done is what real, actual exchanges do, which is what they were trying to do, but never got to doing what real, actual exchanges do, and that is
involved in business would. Why did none of the regulators do that? Where was Gary Gensler?
Well, I don't know where Gary Gensler was, but my regulator at the CFTC, I asked them why.
Sorry, what?
Gensler was, but my regulator at the CFTC, I asked them why in the
This guy who runs the Chicago Exchange, Chicago Mercantile Exchange or whatever, just an actual real dollar exchange in Chicago, one of the bigger ones, openly misspeaks to actually bribing his federal regulator.
the CFTC, I asked them why in the world are you invoking the Commodity Exchange Act, Section 5, paragraph.
You can see him start to slow down and get nervous because he knows he said it on camera now. So yeah, I mean, I asked my regulator. Yeah, so you could have done that. And Sam Bankman-Fried was trying, but apparently didn't quite get there before they got caught in his Ponzi. And I want to say, you know, all of this seems like a massive fail, right? Tons of people's money stolen. Anyone who tried to, you know, try out crypto or believed in it or fell to the FOMO or whatever, many of them are getting their fucking money taken, stolen, drastically cut in value, and they feel burned and angry. But there is a win in all of this. There is a win. And the win is people who want to buy a G-Wagon. Because All of the luxury cars that crypto bros and entrepreneurs have been buying over the past 2 years are now up for sale at drastically reduced prices. The new money, the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, the new money badge of the crypto rich, was once valued around $300,000 in the resale market, but is now closer to $200K. $100,000 haircut. Get it. Get a 200 grand G-Wagon easy, dude. Lamborghini Urus. Dude, I saw a thing. I follow this guy who's a used car dealer on Twitter and posts a lot of interesting stuff about the used car market. He has said there are more Lamborghini Uruses on the market than fucking Toyota Corollas. The Lamborghini Urus is a car that sells like 10,000 a year and has only been out for a few years. Toyota Corollas have been around for fucking 20 years and they sell fucking 50 million a year. It's actually insane. It's insane how many fucking crypto bros are fucking dumping these in the market. So, if you want to buy any of that, or maybe you want to buy, load. Or if you want to buy a pre-owned Rolex or any other expensive watch, all of them have been flooded with supply. That's crypto bros and people who made a bunch of money in tech stocks are now losing their shirt. They're all dumping them on the market. So this is a great time to pick up a used G-Wagon and Rolex, dude. You're going to look fucking fly as hell at discount prices. Or, more importantly, once you get both these things, why don't you take your ass down to a Miami nightclub? Because they're now mourning the absence of high-rolling crypto entrepreneurs. All of the strip clubs and nightclubs in Miami who were begging for all of this easy crypto money, people who are fucking doing bottle services, with the price of Bitcoin at $60,000, crypto became mainstream, the biggest beneficiaries is on Florida City to flaunt their wealth at lavish parties. Out of the blue, all these kids from crypto started coming down and spending a lot of money, like an insane amount of money. They were booking tables for 50 grand, and it was like, who the hell are these people? The new party goers were 95% men, young, with a kind of nerdy style. More than a year later, the phones have stopped ringing after the collapse of Bahamas-based exchange FTX. The crypto revelers frequenting Miami's clubs have completely disappeared. Yikes, dude. They had bathtubs of champagne brought out and gave 50 Cent a bunch of cash to throw. And they paid in crypto. So unless the fucking Miami nightclub exchanged it to cash quick, they also lost money. So yeah, it's an insane world. Pray for the poor strip clubs of Miami, dude. But yeah, easy chance for you to come in and get discount bottle service with your discount G-Wagon and discount Rolex. Now, if you want to make easy money, because again, you also need some money from that, I always, in wins and fails, like to give you a way that I've learned to make easy money. I watch the markets like a hawk, and I'm always trying to find a way, how can you make easy money for my audience? And today, I found a great one, because it's time to salute a true hero in the anti-corporate movement, okay? Corporations are too powerful. They've gotten too strong. And a lot of us are saying enough is enough. We got to stand up to these guys. We have to get some of our rights back. We have to fight for a better wage. But all that stuff is hard, okay? And we don't really believe in it. You know, at its core, it doesn't really get us excited. So finally, someone has stood up for something we really believe in and stuck to corporations where it really hurts. And that is a Florida woman who is suing Kraft Mac and Cheese for $5 million because her Velveeta microwave mac and cheese took longer to make than advertised. This is the fight that matters. We have to hold these corporations accountable. If they say you can make the mac and cheese in 30 seconds, in 3.5 minutes, they better not be lying. Ready in 3.5 minutes is false and misleading. The product's instructions say to microwave for 3.5 minutes, but Ramirez's attorneys say this number doesn't account for the other 4 steps required to prepare the pasta. Removing the lid, adding the water, and stirring. Holy shit, true! True, dude! Get her! Amanda Ramirez, get her ass. Get their ass. That's so fucking, it's a bigger fraud, dude, than FTX. Absolutely. When I see the advertisement, it says I can do it in 3.5 minutes. I assume that includes for me going to the store. I should be able to go to the store. If I see a commercial, I should be able to go to the store, buy it, come home, put it in the microwave, and all be done in 3.5 minutes. They're arguing. Crap is unfairly profiting off false advertising of the cups. Yep. This is all powerful facts. So if you too want to make some money, then I think you should find a product that is telling gratuitous lies like this and really take them to task. Let them know that your voice will be heard and you're not going to stand for it. Okay? It should include the hours you had to work to purchase the mac and cheese. Yeah, exactly. Dude, who here wants to take up the lawsuit on instant oatmeal? It's not instant. You know what instant means? It means instant. If I buy instant oatmeal and I have to cook it and make it, then that's a fucking lie. That's a false advertisement, bro. And I think we can make millions off that. So let's make some money. And if you make that money, how about considering putting it somewhere safe, investing it in a website like public.com? I'd like to thank our sponsor for today's Marketing Monday, public.com, longtime supporter of Marketing Monday. Public.com, I believe, is the single best investment app you can have on your phone. It is clean. It is easy to use. You can track your investments. You can buy fractionally. It's awesome. It's just awesome. I really like it. I find it easy to use. I use it every day to check my stocks. Most of my stocks are just Disney now. Basically, I just buy a bunch of Disney. And also, you can get a free stock up to $300 if you join my code, public.com/Atrioc. Check it out. There's a link in the panel below. You can also check it right there. Check out public.com. And if you sign up with my code, you can get a free stock up to $300. And when you get one, I get one. And a lot of people have signed up Public, and I put all of your free stocks into Disney. So far we're up and up. We're investing together. Yeah, I just think and also it has news. It has news in the app, and you can check out other people's investments. So I just think it's cool. It's just a nice, clean, easy app. And also, most importantly, is unlike their, one major competitor you might know about, that is a stock trading app on your phone. They do not make money by selling information on your trades to hedge funds, which is the business model of the big competitor. This one does not. So that's why I'm a big fan of Public. I'm proud to support them, and I thank them for supporting me on a long time Marketing Monday. So thanks, public.com. Back to the regular schedule programming. Let me give you another win, and this is a win. There's a lot of wins this week, by the way. Let me give you a win for buzzkills. Anyone in chat consider themselves a buzzkill? You're hanging out with friends and you're kind of the downer. You're never the one bringing the mood up. Anyone kind of like well, if you're a buzzkill, I've got some great, excellent news for you. It's a major win in that this man has won the legal right to not be fun at work. He was fired from a consultancy firm in 2015 because he didn't adhere to the company's fun values. He didn't want to go out and party and take after dinner drinks with his coworkers. And now he has legally been ruled that he has freedom of expression to not participate, which means you no longer have to go hang out with your coworkers after work and pretend to be interested and do drinks with them. You can just go home and watch fucking Netflix like you want to, or anime probably. And get over it, all right? This is a big win for fellow buzzkills, dude. I go home and watch Big A. Yeah, exactly. You can go home and watch Marketing Wednesday. You're legally allowed to be working. So big win, big absolute win for buzzkills. Now let's talk about my actual favorite win, and probably, well, actually, no, we'll do one more. Here's another win for other people out there. Who here has trouble? You know how anyone here on dating apps? That's the real question. Is anyone here on dating apps trying to make it work? Trying to get out there, trying to swipe, trying to see if you can. You ever been on dating or tried dating apps and see if you can, or maybe you gave up. Maybe you tried, but you gave up. Well, one thing people complain about is that it's very hard to get good pictures on dating apps. To really present yourself well, you have to go out and take a bunch of photos and try to find yourself in interesting situations and out there in the world. And that requires you to leave your house and have someone take photos of you. And it's a whole thing. All right. It's a pain in the ass. So what I'm presenting today as a major win is that AI will now do this for you. This man took one pic of himself in a disgusting sweatshirt, and then AI just put him in a bunch of interesting and unique backgrounds and situations. And this will only get better. So now you can just take one greasy photo of yourself at your PC, watching hentai or something, and then AI will generate you 100 photos of you living an interesting, fulfilling life to put on your Tinder profile. It's crazy. Now you can use GPT to cheat at school and also on the apps, dude. Big win. Big win. Huge W. Can the AI actually go on the dates for me too? One day. We'll get there. We'll get there, dude. Can we do these photos of family members as well? I guess you could. Cheating at school and cheating on my wife at the same time. You sound too proud of that. So that's the win. And then my final win. And this is the biggest win of the week. And this deserves an entire huge shout out. Okay. I want you all to join me in a celebratory scream. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the king is back! Bob Iger is back at Disney! The original GOAT of Marketing Monday. My original super business fan. Bob Iger, poster on the wall. The CEO of Disney, longtime CEO of Disney, and a guy that, you know, amongst incredibly overpaid CEOs, is my favorite. I read his book. I liked it. He worked his way up from working basically, he didn't have rich parents, and he worked his way up from like working on sets for ABC in like the 70s all the way up to CEO of Disney. So he had a pretty interesting story, and I like him. So anyway, he's put him back to Disney because his replacement, Bob Chapek, has been a disaster. Okay, the guy that he picked to replace him, this guy right here, who looks like he looks like Jebediah Stone from Iron Man. This guy looks like shit. All right, you want Bob Iger, you want this Chad, dude, hanging out with Minnie Mouse. This guy's a Chad. This guy's Tony Stark. This guy's Jebediah Stone. It's obvious, dude. Bob Iger built this company in a cave with scraps. Oh, Obadiah. Sorry, whatever. Anyway, Bob Iger's back. So, if you want to know what happened, basically, a couple things. First of all, Disney's been doing pretty poorly in this guy's tenure. All right. Now, every company's been hit with rough times, basically since November of last year. The entire market's been in turmoil, and especially companies that have dealt with tech. So the streaming part of Disney Plus has been a big money loser. Disney Plus has grown dramatically and done really well, all things considered. But streaming as a business is very expensive, and so far doesn't make money for anybody yet. I mean, generally, it's just pretty not profitable. It's eking out a little bit for Netflix, but generally, it's not doing very well. So that's a big problem. Secondly, right after Iger quit, there was a thing with layoffs at Disney. And Bob Iger, even though he was no longer CEO, basically said that, hey, we should like wait a month and give them proper severance and wait for this new law to get passed, which is going to give them like better protections. And this guy said no. And he said, you shouldn't overrule me. I'm the CEO now, which is just cringe. It's just a bad way to come into a company. It's to be like a huge douchebag and fire people for a small profit gain. So that already caused an issue. And then these guys stopped talking. They became no longer friends, even though Iger had handpicked him as successor. And so eventually, people started saying they don't even want to work for him. So here's the, let's see. Yeah, morale has never been lower inside of Disney. The stock price has fallen from $96 from over 197, not 197 to 96. And many people, executive like the chief, Christine McCarthy, many high-level executives at Disney basically said they would quit. They told the board they would quit if Bob Chapek wasn't removed. So eventually, right here, they fired him. They fired him on Sunday, and the Disney board called Robert Iger and asked him for his job back, which he took. So he took it for at least 2 years. He said he's going to take it for 2 years and see if he can turn the company around. Now, can he? I don't know. The thing is, some of these problems are real. The main thing is he's coming in with a pretty easy fix. Number one, Bob Chapek was lying. He was basically shifting budgets around to hide that Disney Plus was making massive monetary losses. But he was basically pulling, not necessarily full-on fraud, but he was like being misleading. When he was presenting to Wall Street what was going on at Disney, he was basically saying like Disney Plus is crushing it. And it's not. It's not crushing it. It's growing very well. It's doing very good on subscribers, but it's costing a lot of money and not making it back. So that's not. So he's lying. So that'll be easy to fix. And then also the movies that he greenlit, are massive flops. Disney's Strange World has just launched. This is like the last movie that was under Bob Chapek's tenure. Lost $100 million. He's going to about to lose $100 million. It's a total bomb. So, and this is like a big flop for Disney because it's like the first movie they've made in a very long time from Disney Animation that hasn't hit A+ or A-, whatever, Cinema Score. It's like the first movie to do badly on Cinema Score, and also it's going to lose tons of money. So, and this is following one of the biggest flops in Pixar history, which is owned by Disney, which is Lightyear. So Bob Iger has a pretty easy rebound. He comes back, he makes Cars 4, or he makes Toy Story 4, or whatever it is. He makes some sequel. He makes Finding fucking Marlin, Frozen 5, whatever. He just puts out a sequel, and all of a sudden, things are back on track, dude. He has an easy plan to rebound. So, yeah, I'm hopeful as a Disney stock owner that this will be a good sign for the future of the company. But we'll see. Again, there's real structural problems that, he has to address that Chapek wasn't able to address, and maybe I can. So we'll see. One thing that is unclear, and if you know Bob Iger like I do, and I've read his book, he is the biggest Apple fan of all time. And there is a rumor that Disney would try to sell themselves to Apple. If you guys don't know, Apple is a $3 trillion company. Disney's like a tenth of that. Apple could theoretically buy, again, Steve Jobs owned Pixar and sold it to Bob Iger. They were friends. Bob Iger considers himself a close personal friend of Steve Jobs before his life. He's thinking about, now, his first answer to that question was that he won't do it. He said he won't do it. But of course, you never would say you would until you had anything locked. So it doesn't confirm anything. But there are rumors flying around that Disney, if they needed to have a bailout, if they needed to figure things out and make it, get free cash, they would sell to Apple, which would be absolutely bad from a monopoly perspective. I don't support it at all. But as a stock owner, it would probably sell at a premium, so it'd be nice for me. I'd probably make a boatload. So I'm not going to talk about it too much. No, I think it would be awful. I really hope it doesn't go through, and I hope they find a way. If Disney can't survive on its own, that's absolutely insane. So they should be fine. They make a ton of money from a ton of different things. They should find a way. And they also have a massive streaming service. They should find a way to figure it out. But if this happens, we'll cover it more. That's it for Bob Iger. I want to close wins and fails, and then we'll go into Wasn't Budgeting with one last win. Let me get it to you. One last juicy win. And that is, where did I put it? What was my juicy win? I forgot to mention this. Oh no, dude. I missed it during the Elon Musk section. Oh, bummer. Well, okay. I forgot to mention this. All right, we'll go back, dude. We can end on Disney. It was I remember when I was saying that I agreed with Elon on things. I agreed with Elon on 3 things, dude. Number 1 was that Twitter had too many employees. There was too much bloat. Okay, number 2 is that we needed to switch to or the company needed to switch to a subscription service instead of just being advertising driven. And then number 3, as a lifelong virgin,
A massive amount of thinking.
I agree with him that you shouldn't have any sex if you're not trying to make a baby.
Truly stupendous amount of thinking has gone into sex. Without purpose. Without procreation. Which is actually quite a silly action in the absence of procreation.
Nothing explains Elon Musk's behavior to me more than the fact that he thinks you shouldn't have sex if you're not trying to have a baby. Not only does that explain his erratic behavior, but it explains why he has 24 kids.
Why are you doing it? Because it makes the limbic system happy. That's why.
That's why.
But it's pretty absurd, really. But I mean, this is a lot of computation has gone into how can I do more of that with procreation not even being a factor. Like massive.
Yeah, so that's that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Wins and Fails. Now we're going to get into an entirely separate section. Now, normally, Was That Beijing is part of Wins and Fails. But today, Was That Beijing is an entirely separate segment. Let me get 1 second of water, and then we're going to talk about what's going on in China, which I think is world-changing, extremely impactful, and really worthy of our time and attention. So 1 second. Let me get a quick snacky. No, I'm not doing Yep Coke. No, I'm not doing Yep Coke. All right, I'm just getting Naked Juice and a LaCroix. Names and subs. Dodo, thank you for the prime. Yeet McGee, thank you for the prime. Rozzy, thank you for the 20 months. Glucose Bandit, thank you for the prime. Revoltis, thank you for the prime. Cyber Luna, thank you for the prime. Lonely Star, thank you for the 15 months. Thank you for all the subs. Nick Bob, thank you for the 3 months. Huh? What juice? You've never heard of Naked Juice? You think it's some moment? Huh? Naked Juice? Gross. What? Gross, dude. I want my juice fully clothed. TOS? Naked without procreation? Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting my juice naked if I'm not trying to make a baby, dude. You guys are truly all Elon Musk stands. All right. Let's talk, dude. Let's do it. Today, I am revealing the single biggest episode
Was That Beijing?
of What's Up Beijing of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, Xi Jinping is the center of this story. And What's Up in Beijing is a little something called fuck, dude. It's Hearthstone tabs all the way down. It's Hearthstone tabs all the way down. It's Hearthstone tabs all the way down. I never closed them. I never closed them. It's 200 million Hearthstone tabs. No! No! Wait a minute! Dude, I legitimately... Okay, here it is. Thank fucking God. Okay, 1 second, dude. Alarm bells. Remember that?
Alarm bell. Alarm bell.
All right, 1 second. All right. Wait, run it back. Wait.
A constant about.
Wait. Okay, here it is. Okay, I got it. Sorry. All right. Yeah, it wasn't Liz. Okay. Hold up. Okay. Was that Beijing?
我在北京
I will tell you what's up in Beijing. Here's what's been going on in Beijing. Riots.
Across China, citizens and police clashing in the streets. Law enforcement racing to contain remarkable shows of opposition to China's President Xi Jinping. Some in Beijing openly calling for him to step down. This woman saying we should end his dictatorship and Xi only cares about himself. Frustrations with China's super strict zero COVID policy prompting thousands to protest Xi and his Communist Party while demanding freedom and
30 days. 33 days and China will collapse. I have made fun of that statement in the past many times. I have said over and over that thumbnails like these are absolute scams and frauds that prey upon some weird benefit you get in the algorithm when you say like China's totally doomed. People love hearing that China's totally doomed. And in fact, the numbers don't paint the story they're totally doomed. 29 days. That being said, for the first time since I've started to see this type of stuff covered, I've actually thought, not that China is collapsing, that's an absolute fever dream, but that there's actually some real unrest and social change being happened. Because this is the first time that people have chosen to actually speak out in public en masse against Xi's regime, the control of the Communist Party, the policies. They are openly dissenting in a way that's it's called, they've been broken, the Great Silence. They've called it the Great Silence. And to explain that, let me give a little bit of context. Okay? Let me give a little bit of context. But first I want to say that if you use the right videos and footage, you can paint the picture that any country is totally collapsing, okay? So sorry to disappoint you. This is more of the thumbnail that I think makes sense. It's not actually collapsed. Like, the country is very likely going to continue to exist as is, but with unrest and possible social change. For example, if you were to take the photo of, this photo. Wait, sorry. I'm jumping ahead. Yeah. If you were to take the photo of America during 2007 in Occupy Wall Street and the Ferguson riots and protests Ferguson, and then January 6th, you could tell someone from outside of America that America is collapsing in 30 days. You know what I'm saying? If you put the right photos together, you can make the narrative that the whole country is collapsing. Okay? And the country kept going on. You understand? Like, it's still here. It's still moving on. So let's be clear on that. That being said, what's happening in China is, I just want to give that as a preamble, just so you understand that I'm not being overly dramatic, and I understand the context here. But what's happening in China is very real and very serious. So let's get into it. You can see more on this.
Is mounting, but China is showing no sign of budging on zero COVID. And for the second straight day, China reported its highest number of new COVID cases since the start of the pandemic, reporting more than 30,000 new cases. And authorities are
all of this comes back to Xi Jinping and his zero COVID policy. That's what's going on right now in China. But if you go back to the beginning, let me give you some context. In 1999, there was the Tiananmen Square protests. Okay, it was a massive social movement, unrest, riots, protests in China. And it was brutally cracked down on, okay? Brutally. Completely shut down, violently shut down on. And since that moment, there has been what's called the Great Silence in China. There's been an unwritten pact, and that is that China will provide economic growth and opportunity to all its citizens. You'll have a better economic life than your parents did. Things will get better and better for your jobs, for your opportunities, for your growth, for your businesses. You'll get richer than ever before, and you cannot question the government. That is since 1989. Yeah, that's what I said, right? 1989. That's been the unspoken pact of China, and it has paid off. Despite what I'm saying, for the average citizen, they've been happy with it since 1989, because since that year, the economy has 14x'd, okay? Literally 14 times. They've outgrown everyone. They've seen the country go from like near third world to a dominant world superpower, rivaling the United States, okay? They've got a massive budget, massive military, massive more wealth, and so people have overall been happy with that. But since 2018, the story has been different, okay? Because there's been things like a massive Chinese housing crisis that is causing all of the wealth that is built up in Chinese real estate to deflate in value massively. There's a huge debt bubble. There's a problem with environmental challenges. They have massive environmental challenges because they burn a ton of coal, and there's acid rain in the rivers. There's demographic challenges where they have a massively aging population. They had a long time one-child policy that has left them without enough young people to manage all the old people. They have many, many problems that are starting to come due at the same time. And that is challenging the narrative of like easy continued economic growth. That is no longer happening. Basically, this graph. This is no longer happening. It's going way flatter on the curve. At the same time, they have implemented what is by far the world's strictest and most draconian anti-COVID policy called COVID Zero. And this is what's really making people mad because it has been absurdly restrictive. I couldn't find one video that really summed up what it's like, but you can sort of see in videos like this, just like this is a factory that got they took everyone out of their apartment building at 1 a.m. at night and had them all tested. There's just constant roaming of people in these hazmat suits. It's unreal. The level of like social control. People have to get daily COVID check-ins, and their apps have to be flagged red or green. If they're flagged red, they can't go to certain businesses or buildings or leave their house. It's an incredibly restrictive and incredibly draconian policy. And what it has done is it allowed China to have much fewer COVID deaths. That has been their upside. But the problem is because they can't keep it going and because they have made the choice, Xi Jinping made the personal choice to not allow any foreign vaccines, and the Chinese vaccine is not effective, that they have no real way out. They have no real way of opening up without massive deaths. They don't even have the ER capacity to even close to manage what would happen if COVID went wide. So they are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And so they've had to keep up with this draconian policy. And people in China have been putting up with it and putting up with it and putting up with it for over a year plus now, two years. And the idea was that after Xi Jinping won his third term, he basically ran unchallenged and and kind of forced it. After he got his third term and was locked in, the idea was that he was going to it would be over, or it would be less restrictive. That's what everyone was sort of thinking in China. It was like, okay, fine, we'll wait till the Communist Party's big 100-year anniversary. He wins the third term, and then things are going to start to downtrend. But that happened, and then a bunch of scandals happened, and at the same time, COVID Zero has been more restricted than ever. There was another major lockdown. And so people finally started to feel like enough was enough. They started to feel like it was enough, and that's when the real unrest started to happen. Okay? Yeah. So here, what happened is, let's see this. There was this. Recently, there was a fire in Urumqi, right here, in a high rise where the fire response couldn't get to the people in time because of the COVID Zero policy, which prevented the rescue workers from getting there quickly enough. So literally 10 plus people died in a fire. And this caused outrage. This was like a flashpoint, a trigger point for a lot of people getting very angry. At the same time, there was a bus that was forcibly putting people into quarantine that crashed, killing everyone on board. So the bus incident and the fire incident happened around the same time, and it just made people who were already sick and tired and feeling angry and upset about this endless slog of COVID-0, they finally just started to rise up and started to say something. And that led to this. So here you can see Philly fire, university students protested, and then that led to this, okay? And what we've been seeing is a massive amount of these sort of like white paper protests across different cities in China. And the white paper is a unique thing. They hold up the white paper because it says nothing on it. Because China has incredibly restrictive rules on what you can say when you protest. You can't actually say anything negative about the government. And so what they have done is created these blank sheets of paper that everybody knows what it means, but it doesn't say anything. So they're all just holding up blank sheets of paper in a really kind of epic sort of way of getting around the censors. And they've been incredibly inventive in their ways of stopping Chinese government censorship, which has so far been incredibly strong. So because they can be arrested for holding up protest signs, they hold up blank sheets of white paper. They say nothing, but everybody knows what that means. Because they can remove all negative comments on social media, people have been going on social media in China and posting incredibly positive messages, ironically. So they'll say things like, this COVID policy is great! I love this COVID policy. COVID, like they're going around to each other's pages and saying the opposite of what they mean about everything, which is actually so based. Because they can't write or sing protest songs, they have been going to protests and singing legitimately the Chinese national anthem. And because the CCP is incredibly, patriotic and nationalistic, they can't stop them from singing that. But the lyrics of the anthem are "Arise, ye who refuse to be slaves." Arise, ye who refuse to be slaves. The Chinese nation faces its greatest danger. And they're emphasizing these two lines. But it's part of the national anthem. It's incredibly powerful protests that they can't actually lock down on. They're getting around all these systems. They're finally finding a ways to break the great silence, which is impressive. So, and again, an even better one. Let me see if I can find it for you. Like in person. Let me see. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. The crowd was chanting. The police ordered the group of protesters to not shout slogans that protested COVID controls. So they switched to chants supporting them. We want COVID tests. Just finding a way to say fuck you in whatever way possible. It's actually incredibly based and incredibly powerful. And the way this movement has organized itself across the country in like an ironic kind of fuck you to a really oppressive system that has complete control over the media, over social media, over what you can say online, over everything is crazy. And it's crazy, it's impressive, and it's powerful. And it fills me with a lot of, I don't know, I'm rooting for them. And what is the government going to do about it? This is the real question. Because this is a movement that's not going away. People are very angry. The government doesn't have a real clear way of getting out of it. They have no way of like switching to mass, herd immunity, which again, the rest of the world sort of just did it because they gave up trying to control people. And, it led to a lot of deaths. There's not really a good outcome here. COVID's just a brutal, brutal disease. There's no real way, like either people die or not, but at least with a better vaccine and more ER beds, there's a way to manage it. But like they have no real way to do that. So they have no real path forward. And it shows. It fucking shows. Because they're, this guy. This guy is the Chinese official who does foreign press conferences. He was interviewed on The Guardian.
Given the
and you can see, I want you to watch closely, and you can see exactly what what level of preparedness they have to answer this question. Okay, watch him.
widespread display of anger and frustration at the zero COVID policy in recent days across China.
近期中国国内出现了对
Thinking about
清
ending
零
it,
政
and
策
if so
的
when?
不满，你对此有何回应？
Hold. 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 So I timed it from 15 seconds, from 46 seconds. He goes 30 seconds of 31 seconds of unbroken silence. Then he asked to repeat the question. Then the question is repeated, okay? And then
soon, and if so, when?
很快的
he goes for another like minute of silence. So all in all, in total, he's had something like a minute and a half of time to think about an answer, and he's got nothing. So what he ends up saying is, what you mentioned does not reflect what actually happened. China has been following. Look at gulps. The dynamic zero COVID policy. That's it. Bro. The riots are happening. They're all over. They're viral. There's tons of videos of them, and he is acting like they're not happening. And that was so incredibly well handled. The guy is very nervous to say anything other than the party line. And it shows. And they don't have a real response. So far they've tried two things, okay? Like politically and PR-wise, they have been blaming the entire movement on foreign forces, okay? They've been implying that nobody is protesting authentically. They've been saying everybody's protesting as part of foreign forces. You know, it's all paid for by George Soros or whatever, you know, whatever they're saying. Here, an increasingly popular conspiracy theory on China's internet right now is that the U.S. has a $500 million budget to support or even initiate nationwide anti-zero COVID posts in China. The idea that the U.S., which can't even figure out her own shit, is organizing a $500 million secret underground COVID protest in China. It's crazy. The U.S. is not even close to being organized enough to do this. No, this is not happening. But what's funny is, so they, you know, the white paper, the white pieces of paper, they, let me see. Make sure I have it. Yeah, well, this is the video I want, but there's one more I want to show you. Hold up. This is worth it. 1 second, because it's actually fucking crazy. Hold up. There's many tabs here, okay? Here, I found it. Okay, so the white pieces of paper, they were claiming that the reason they were white pieces of paper was so it was easier for foreign forces to Photoshop on anti-COVID zero policy statements. That was what they were saying. They were saying all this white paper stuff is fake, and they were going to actually use it to Photoshop. And then what happened is the Chinese government did that themselves. They took these white paper photos and they clearly Photoshopped on statements that said like, crack down on rumors incitement, boycott the color revolution, Support zero epidemic prevention. Like, people are in the streets holding up signs to support what's already happening. The entire riot movement is actually a pro. So this is some of what they're doing, which is insane, but it is not working. So let me show you. Let me show you this video. This is an incredibly well-spoken protester in China who says, here, listen, we'll get to it. What's the part he says? We'll get to it. Wait a second. Okay, this guy asks, hello, can I ask, was it foreign forces who started the fire in Xinjiang? With the fire that burned the apartment building. Was the bus overturned by foreign forces? Was everyone told to come here by foreign forces? And everyone shouts no. We can't even access foreign internet. How are foreign forces meant to be communicating with us? We only have domestic forces not allowing us to govern ourselves. Can we leave the country? No. Can we go on foreign internet? No. Where are these foreign forces, from the moon? We just want freedom. And I thought that was incredibly based. And again, the risk these people are going under to do protests like this is severe. It's serious. It's real. People are being arrested. They're being jailed. They're being carted off. There was a video of a guy. Let's see if I got him. Where's the flower guy? This one. Yeah. There's the video, but here's the video. Oh, I don't have the translated version. But this guy, he's kind of become a national symbol, this guy, the flower guy. He's just walking around with flowers and basically saying, like, he essentially said, like, we all know this is crazy. Something like that. And they were like, Tyler Sport, and then he's like, again, he said the COVID zero policy makes no sense. And then as he said that, they carted him off into a, we need to be more brave. Yeah, he says, we need to be more brave. Someone can translate, actually. I've had the translated version, but I don't have it on me. And when he mentions the COVID zero policy, they grab him and they put him in the car. And like, people are clapping and supporting him. And he's basically saying, we don't need to be scared. Chinese people need to be braver. That's what I remember he said. That's the main thing he said. And so, like, this shit is serious. And the fact that they're all doing this simultaneously in many cities across China is powerful. And it sends a message. And the government has a reason to be scared because they can no longer offer the same promise. Okay? This Chinese generation is better educated, wealthier, better connected, has the internet than ever before. And they're starting to question why they need such a draconian oppressive government. And at the same time, the government is no longer offering them the same economic growth opportunities that it was, because Chinese growth is still up, but it's slowing. It's slowing dramatically. So it remains to be seen how they're going to deal with this, but it's not looking good. One of the things they're trying is the following. Well, again, as I mentioned, The main thing they're doing is the PR stuff of trying to play it down, play it. And then what they're doing physically is being way worse. They're just doing way more jailings, way more oppressive stuff, way more physical violence. Again, there was a riot at, this is the Foxconn factory where Apple iPhones are made, which was resisting a major lockdown, which required them to live on site to avoid, basically live on site and work for terrible wages to work to make iPhones. There's been violence, dude. Yeah. Yeah, and many people do believe that the U.S. is like the big thing they're blaming it on is the United States. The U.S. is like causing this somehow. But I think people are starting to wake up. And many protesters are saying the opposite. So they have in some, like they are trying something. So today, this was a press conference in Guangzhou, which lifted their COVID lockdown because they've had one of the biggest protests. And they're worried. They're worried about these protests. There's no reason the government wouldn't be. This is like a big open middle finger to their political power. And they had this conference. They've lifted the lockdown. And symbolically, all of these leaders took off their mask for the press conference, which they've never done before. Okay? They're trying to send a message. But again, this is all kind of just symbolic and short term. They're trying to basically stop the movement. Slow down or stop or blunt the movement. Because they can't actually do this. They can't actually go into a, free-for-all, no lockdown, because they know the consequences with a gigantic country of 1 billion people and an ineffective vaccine that most people don't even have is going to be actually terrible. So this is where they're at. And it remains to be seen what they're going to do next. But I did want to say, wait, I'll make sure I got my final thing. Dude, I have so. Okay. Yeah. They've been dragging off protesters. Stop. Oh, yeah. They've been checking people in the streets for any signs of foreign interference. And one of the main things they've been doing to flag people that they are foreign agents is if they have the Instagram app on their phone. They're checking because you're not allowed to have any foreign apps. So if they see anybody that has Instagram or any kind of foreign app, but the main one's Instagram, they've been literally, they've been stopping people on subways and checking their phones for foreign agents that have any kind of app like Instagram, which is crazy. Yeah. So anyway, what I'm saying is overall, Xi Jinping, who has been the absolute face of this program, Zero COVID has been his baby, his brainchild. He has pushed it. He has championed it. Because in 2021, when the rest of the world was having higher deaths, China had fewer. And they were championing it. Like, Zero COVID has worked. It's amazing. But the fact that it has dragged on and on and on with no end in sight. And Chinese citizens are watching the World Cup and seeing the rest of the world, maskless out at soccer games in close proximity. And they're wondering, when they'll ever get to go back. Though they just have they have no idea, and they're getting angry. And so he's really painted himself into a corner, and there's no real way without huge cost for him to ease up on this policy. Now, actual revolution or even regime change seems impossible. Okay? Xi Jinping has consolidated all power politically, and he has control of the media. He has control of, censors online. It doesn't look like there's any way. But if you'd have asked anyone, a China expert, like even a year ago, if there would be protests like this, they all would have said no. It was thought impossible until it's happened. So I think human courage is contagious. I think it's unpredictable. And I think more good could happen from this than we think. Not necessarily regime change, but maybe massive change politically in China. And I want to say that I think the best chance we have for a peaceful world is one with fewer strongmen leaders, fewer divisiveness, less ardent nationalism, and more recognition in all countries that we're humans trying to live a life of dignity. And so I think literally, and I think one of the biggest challenges for the next 20 years is the fact that right now, China and the US are so at odds that it could lead to tensions, escalations, even war. I mean, that is one of the biggest risks to all of life in the next 20 years. And so I think if movements like this can gain steam and we can be more understanding on our sides that they're just humans over there with the same problems and fears and goals as us, then a world where we're connected by trade and cultures is much better and much less likely to lead to a world of peace than one that can escalate to war. So I really hope that I'm really praying for this movement. I hope it does well, and I hope people can see it and understand that the regular person in China is not much different than them. And that's it. That's what's up Beijing for this week. I'm gonna be following this story closely. It's extremely important. There's a lot to come from this, and I hope these protests gain some ground, and I hope people in China get some relief from these draconian pressures. Okay, that's it. That's what's up Beijing, and that's wins and fails. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry it's been so long without marketing and business and geopolitics content. I really got into a rabbit hole in Hearthstone. But I'm back, and we'll be back on Monday with another one too as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Now it's 10:39, and we're gonna watch Community. Why doesn't China import foreign magazines? That was the biggest mistake, I think, thus far that Xi Jinping has made with his COVID-0 policy, was that he chose a really nationalistic route. He wanted to use only Chinese-made vaccines, and they just weren't at the level yet with biotech. I don't know. It had a much lower success rate. And they've been stubborn about it. They could have imported it easy. They have the money. And now it's caused them to have like no real way out because their ER capacity is dramatically small for the population size. Kaz, thank you for the prime. Snacky snack time? Yeah, get some snacks. Drones sanitizing the streets is so free. Oh, yeah, dude. Some of the tech going on in China is insane. Not just the surveillance, but like... Yeah, the drone-based tech. Yeah, drones sanitizing the streets. Drones flying over people's houses saying not to protest. It's all interesting. It's all weird. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I also want to say, this is off the record from the video, but like people think that China has like done everything wrong and there's nothing we can learn from them. Like, there's so much that I wish America would take from China. I wish we would take their investment in public services and goods. I wish we had high-speed rail at the level that China has instead of like fucking weird government contracts with a boring company that gets nothing. They have better healthcare, like in terms of like the freedom of average citizens from not being stuck in lifelong bills for healthcare. There's like things we could learn from them and just keep what I think is good, which is that in this government, I mean, in this country, I can criticize the government and not feel any fear. I can say Joe Biden is old, bro. He's old as fuck. He looks old. I can say that, and there's no fucking, I don't feel any fear. And I couldn't say that in fucking China. And I like that. I like that freedom. But I don't like that we don't have fucking high-speed rail or any kind of investment. And the fact that it takes 19 years to build any public service at all. There's so much fucking red tape and hassle. It's crazy. Yeah, let us speak and also have first. Exactly. You got to choose one or the other. Either don't criticize the government or have debt from hospital bills. What's funny is like Sweden, you know, they do both. You can say Joe Biden looks old in China. Yes, you can. They'll let you say that. That is, you're not, you know what? You're right. If all I wanted to say was the statement Joe Biden is old, actually everyone on earth let me say that. Linkus jumped in. What's up? So that's that. So, you can't be an economic powerhouse while doing both. You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe that's the key. Yeah, so it's all strange. It's all strange and it's all bad, but I've been watching it closely and I've been kind of in shock. Chinese state TV also shows a different camera cut during the World Cup. Oh, I didn't mention this and I wanted to. You guys, it is true. At first, this was a fake, okay? At first, I saw this and I thought it was fake. And I looked into it, and some of the early things on social media were fake. Is that people were saying that they were blurring out the crowd during the World Cup to not show citizens that they were walking around maskless. But what turns out is it is true. They weren't blurring it out. They were showing a different feed. So the Chinese version of it right here on the bottom was cutting to coaches. Yeah, like it was skipping the crowd shots. This is legit. This is part of their PR plan is they're not showing the crowd shot. This is actually real. Yeah. What I saw was the blurred version, which is fake. They weren't like cartoonishly blurring the crowd, but they have been on actual Chinese TV cutting to more coach shots and player shots than crowd shots, which is like dystopian. It is a way to fucking avoid the problem of like seeing people out there enjoying themselves mask free. So yeah, it's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. Okay, let me get the community episode. Community. They think their citizens are so dumb. Yeah, I just think they have total control and they've been able to scrub so much dissent for so long. But like their citizens aren't dumb. And they're proving it. And they're angry. And like a lot of them, I think because you know what? The average person here also doesn't really care about politics. Do you know what I'm saying? The average person anywhere on earth, but especially in America, would happily kind of just not care, not question, and not care about politics as long as like their job is going up in pay, the cost of things is going down, economic opportunity. There's like, as long as like the economy is getting better and everyone is feeling like there's prosperity, most people don't give a shit. They don't care. They're not super invested. That's most people all over the world. And so China has been living with that for a while. And I think the CCP thought that meant they had like a lot of support. Like they had a lot of like real passion and love. And more likely, it looks like people were just putting up, like they weren't super paying attention. They don't super care as long as things were going good. And now that things are looking bad and weird and they're getting all these, they're angry and they're not dumb and they know they've been manipulated. And they know that like there's a lot, they know there's censors on Chinese media. They know that like what they see on social media is being edited and deleted and lied to. So, yeah, it's crazy. In other words, the government had their money up, but now they're getting their funny up. Exactly. You nailed it. Well, you could have saved me fucking 30 minutes of talking, dude. I should have just said that from the beginning. Takes a real genius to cut to the heart of it like that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to watch Community. I'm tired of talking. We're going to watch an episode of season 2 of Community. We're watching all of Community as part of a build-up to the release of their new movie. They've been releasing all their episodes on YouTube as a promotion, so we've been watching them, going back to the show. I haven't seen the show in a long time, but I loved it back when I watched it, and I have always thought it's great, and it has been fun on a rewatch to watch with chat. You don't need to know much to go into it.